No, thank you. Because I have a fucking hike after this.
You have a what?
A hike.
That's exactly why you need a White Claw.
Yeah.
We're in?
5-mile hike.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome to the Ready Set Blow podcast, episode 318. My homeboy, Bryson Banks.
Made it.
We had a little confusion. He went to the old studio, and he also didn't know it was today.
Yeah, not good. Not my style. I put it in my calendar, and I fucking can't stand when flaky LA people don't show up on time or forget it was that day. So my apologies.
I figured something was up. It's my fault. I should have sent it earlier.
No excuse on my part.
It's all good. But
although they should update the address on Apple Maps.
Well, the thing is, they have both locations.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh,
so over there is where they do the shows. They have like the showroom.
That makes sense.
Because they used to tape it and do the showroom over there. Now it's just the showroom and they tape over there.
Okay. You sent me the right address, so it's completely my fault.
Whatever. But I was telling you right before you start, because so both Bryce and I have the same pair of shades, and I was telling him how when I was in Thailand. So this is what happened, dude. I had it was probably a $450 pair of glasses.
For what?
Sunglasses.
Not those.
No. They were like
Gucci's
Armani or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
This is back when I had bread, when I was a banker.
You used to be a banker?
I used to be a banker.
Like a loan guy or?
No, like private equity, investment banker, that kind of thing.
Shit.
The masses of Wall Street.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, it was
10 or something 7.
Oh, Series 7?
Series 7.
All that bullshit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I went to Thailand on vacation. It was probably like 2015 or something like that. And I had these shades, and I never really wore them because they were, expensive. And I had those Ray-Bans. I would just knock around with those. So let me bring out my nice shit for a nice vacation. Ooh. And I go to this little monkey sanctuary. They take you on like a little ferry over there. Me and a couple friends and some other tourists. And there's like a guy who's like the park ranger. Just a guy in a bathing suit. Shit, my phone. Guy in a bathing suit. And it's like a monkey sanctuary. So like you go to this island, it's probably about 2 miles off the coast, and there's a dozen monkeys in there. And on the boat, they sell you like little bags of food so you can feed the monkeys. And they hear the boats coming, and they fucking, dude, it's like the reverse storm, it's like Normandy, but in reverse. They come to the boats, come fucking running down out of the trees. It's probably 200 fucking monkeys, a lot of goddamn monkeys. Wow. And like
different species of monkeys?
No, all the same species. I forgot what types, like a macaque or something. Each one's probably the size of a house cat, but they have 4 hands. And they're super agile, and they have teeth. And they did nip at a few people, but just trying to get food. But they swarm you, dude. Like if 200 house cats charge you, I'm pretty sure they can fuck you.
It's gonna be freaked out.
Yeah, but once you give them all the food, and they kind of wander away, and then some of them start they tell you button up your pockets and shit because they're trying to grab stuff. One of them jumps up on my shoulder, and I take a photo with it, right? Somebody takes a photo with me, and as soon as the photo's snapped, he grabs the shades on my head, runs up a tree.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And, a bunch of people got shit stolen. There was, 20 other people visiting on. And once I took the boat back, I'm like, that fucking park ranger, I'm sure trains them. He has fruit. I'm sure when we leave, he puts out a basket of fruit. They come down with whatever the fuck they stole to get the fruit from them. And that guy's just selling my shades now somewhere in fucking Bangkok. You know what I'm saying? I totally got caught.
Yeah.
A trained monkey stole a $400 pair of shades from my face.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah. But for a long time, that photo of me with the monkey was like the photo on my Tinder profile.
I have a photo with the monkey, not on my dating profiles, but when I visited one of the islands in the Caribbean, there was a guy, and I took...
Don't talk about your girlfriend like that.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, man. Monkeys are crazy. We're pretty much monkeys.
I know. But the weird thing is, like I said, their hands, they have 4 of them.
Yeah.
It's a little wild.
Yeah, we've evolved a little differently, but...
Yeah. How many... Speaking of which, I was thinking about
primates. You know that, right?
We are primates.
Yeah.
We are.
People like to think we're like these.
That is weird that people
special things.
It is weird that people do that. They're they separate humans from the animal kingdom, as if what we're doing is not natural to It's it's unnatural to build cities. Well, arguably we were evolved here. We build cities. Is it unnatural for a bee to build a beehive?
Right.
Yeah. It's at some level. This is part of. We're not removed from nature. We're just doing it at a grander scale. We have dump trucks and fucking bulldozers, and ants don't. But they do the same shit. They build their communities. We build ours.
Dude, I just tried that raw Beehive Honey for the first time. It's so good.
You've never had that stuff?
No,
I love that stuff, dude. It's all milk. It's cloudy.
Yeah,
dude.
But with the whole honeycomb.
Oh, I never ate the honeycomb.
See, I hadn't either.
What's the honeycomb? Is it waxy?
It is if you have it by itself, but I've been doing like with the Cars crackers and the manchego with the little bit of that honeycomb, dude.
What is this? Is this like a Mexican thing?
No.
Where'd you hear the manchego cheese and crackers? What is
That's
this?
actually manchego's from Spain.
Whatever. They're all the same to me.
Spain's in Europe.
I know,
I used to not know this too. My roommate's from Spain, and they're like white and from Europe.
Wait a minute. You didn't know Spain was in Europe? Didn't you travel the world on the army's on the Marines' dime?
Yeah, I traveled to Iraq and back. So I got.
You didn't notice you were flying over Spain on the way to get there?
No, I didn't notice, bro. I grew up in Oklahoma. Like I had no idea.
Where in Oklahoma?
Tiny little town called Kellyville.
Was like the next biggest city?
It's like less than 1,200 people population. There's not even a stoplight in the town.
Where's like the major city? Like how far are you from
I'm like
Oklahoma
40
City?
minutes outside Tulsa.
Okay, so not even Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tulsa's big though, but
No accent. I guess does Oklahoma have an accent?
they do. But I was born in California and I moved there in second grade, and I used to have an accent, but like enough people being like, "Oh, it's hunting, fishing," and I was like, "Okay, fucking hunting, fishing." So I like got rid of the accent. Yeah.
All right.
And like I've always wanted like. Yeah, from second grade to 18, I was like, I told my parents I'm moving back to California as soon as I turn 18.
You didn't like Oklahoma?
I hated Oklahoma, man.
Why?
It just wasn't like I was born. I loved surfing and skateboarding, like growing up, and like I was like such a bro, you know. And I was like, it wasn't my style. I don't know. It was like cowboys and hunting and fucking shooting, and like I did that stuff for a while. But and I still listen to country music because of it, but. I don't know, man. I love California.
Are your parents from Oklahoma? Is that why they went back?
No, they were from California. They just wanted horses, and I guess at the time there was with the field my dad worked in, there was a lot of opportunity in Oklahoma. Okay. But mostly because my parents wanted like land and horses, and you got to be really wealthy to have that out here.
Yeah, any land out here. Is he in the oil business?
Yeah, some sort. Yeah,
some sort.
Yeah, like he does the piping of that stuff.
It's pretty funny how as a kid you don't really know what your parents do. You just go to work.
Oh yeah, you have no concept of wealth either. You're just like, yeah, fucker.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, you can buy me an ice cream. He must be loaded. Like,
yeah, I get all the toys I want. What? My Ninja Turtle sword's made out of aluminum foil. I'm like, my parents are so rich. Yeah, man, you have no.
So is that why you joined the military, to get out of Oklahoma?
That's one of the reasons, man.
Did you go to college at all, or just go right from high school to the service?
I went from high school to the service, but they paid for my college. I went after.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the only fastest way back to California. Also, like, it's where I grew up. It's like a heroic thing and like an honorable thing to do the military. So
I think it's honorable everywhere. I think it's weird that. I was going to mention that to you today because, like, I feel like, the political, and not that we're going to get to politics at all, but like the atmosphere right now, it's like, oh, the American flag is racist. If you call yourself a patriot, that's somehow negative. It's like I don't like. Yeah, there's a lot of liberal people that are very patriotic that I know, and a lot of conservative people that aren't. Like, I don't know that it's just misused words, you know. Like, I mean, a ton of kids. I mean, I grew up in inner city New York, and a ton of my fucking former brother-in-law, a bunch of my friends went into the service too because they were like, you know, because they were. I mean, September 11th happened. The year I graduated from. Well, the year I started college.
Okay, 2001.
I started college, so you know, a bunch of my friends were still in high school. A bunch of them just got out, so they signed up right after that. Obviously.
Okay. So you're older too. When did you start stand-up?
I started at 33. Started in 2016.
That makes me feel great. I started 29, and I feel.
Oh, dude, I'm way behind the curve. I feel like I fucking ruined my life.
Nah, but the thing is, dude, comedy attracts like a lazy person in a way. That's somebody that's just funny, and there's some hard workers within the field, but like I think a lot of people
don't want to do a real job. People wanting to do this don't want to do regular things. You know, like we don't like. Right. I felt very uncomfortable with my old profession.
Sure.
You know, like it made me unhappy. Like very unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, you know, and even though I was doing all right at it, it was like this is like it seemed unsustainable at the time. It seemed like I was going to crack.
Right.
So I had to go. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think the good thing. Just like any other career field, you can outwork the people within it. So you seem to have a good work ethic, and that's probably getting you along. I mean, it has gotten you a lot of places. So
for sure, which I appreciate. But when you were looking to sign up, so you signed up like right out of high school?
Right out of high school.
And how what year was this?
This was 2006. So
Okay.
I was so gung ho. I also needed
You
the
didn't think
discipline.
like, let me go to college first and get into like an ROTC program or something like that?
Once my parents told me they wouldn't pay for my college,
Oh, okay.
they just couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't. It's not that they didn't want to. They couldn't. And also, like, I didn't have the like, I was barely getting through high school. Like, part of my classes were because they passed me because they didn't want me.
Just want you out of there, yeah.
Bro, I was a menace. Like, I got kicked out of school for selling drugs. Like,
Oh, you were a troublemaker. I didn't know that.
Fights all the time.
kind of drugs
I
were you
was
selling?
like Percocets and that I stole from my friend's mom. Like, I was such a. I needed the
That doesn't
Marines.
get more country than that,
Bro,
Bryson.
I was such a piece of shit. Yeah.
I was stealing Percocets from my friend's mom and selling them at gym class.
I was, dude. I was selling. I was a bad kid. Yeah, I was selling weed, and I got caught with that. And like, I got lucky because it was before I turned 18, so I got like a get out of jail free card. So
Because they don't play in Oklahoma with that shit.
they don't play in a small town. The cop knew what I drove, and like shortly
Yeah,
after
if you're
that,
you must have been the only 1,200 people. You must have been the only drug dealer in town.
bro. Yeah,
It's pretty easy. The investigation was easy.
oh, dude, and just like getting arrested at high school, and then like,
Oh, you got at school?
yeah, at high school,
They pulled you out of class, like
pulled me out
in
of class.
cuffs?
They tried to catch me. They didn't find my stuff because like I went to the bathroom and like hid
it?
it up in the, you know how they have the
tiles, the
shitty,
drop ceiling.
Yeah, so I hid it up there, but like I thought I was cool, and like I didn't realize like one of the people that were narking on me that I thought was cool. So I like, oh, they're still like, oh, how'd you get away? And I fucking told her. So obviously they found it. They got me. So yeah.
So you had a bunch of rats in this 1,200 person town.
Yeah, dude.
That's
There's
fucked
always someone. You know what I mean? If you want to keep something a secret, keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, don't
The truest statement ever made, dude.
dude. Seriously, man. Yeah, and I have been taught that lesson by I don't know the God, the universe. I feel like it keeps teaching you lessons until you learn them. So
Oh, no shit. That's fucking amen to that.
yeah,
But how'd you settle on the Marines? All right, so first of all, there's a pecking order, right?
there is
Like who's
of hardcoreness,
like yeah, like
smartness.
who's like the people like the respected branches versus the
Yep,
pussies.
absolutely.
And I obviously I'm thinking either Navy or Air Force at the bottom, but which one's the bottom?
Yeah, well, probably Air Force or Coast Guard.
I didn't even think of the Coast Guard. I didn't even think of them as armed forces.
But those, yeah, exactly.
Oops.
But those are like the more cush, like smarter, but like as the hardcore, yeah, the Marines are, and that was obviously an influence. My grandpa and uncle were Marines too, and that,
Did it discipline you? Did it work?
it did work, man. I'm so disciplined. Like within the Marines, I was a shitty Marine. Like,
Really?
in the sense that I like.
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of the guy that would go along to get along. Like you just like, I'll do what they say so I don't get in trouble. So you don't want to do like extra PT or anything like that.
No, I did, bro. I have I have such a problem with authority, and because my dad was
Makes
like
sense, as a comedian.
super hard on me, like, and I rebelled, and that's why. So, and then I get there, and like, I slid through the cracks for a little bit, but then they caught me, and like, bro, I made it hard on myself. So I was like, I went in as infantry and then tried out for snipers and made the platoon, and snipers is
okay.
cool because you can do like, you can have longer hair and you can. Your uniform can look a little like
It's funny. It's like what you look forward to, like the little frills around it.
Bro.
Snipers are cool because you can like grow your hair out.
dude, yeah.
You know, it's like they don't pay you any extra money or
No,
You know, like
they don't. No extra money. No,
Yeah,
everyone
you
in
can
the
still get killed, but you know you can grow a mustache when you do that.
yeah, you can drink beers while other people like it's less of the bullshit. So I love that, and like I just had the nastiest hair you can have as a Marine and the lowest boot blouses, and they would try to shoot. They'd be like, "Come here," because you're with infantry, so they have the highest haircuts, the tightest sleeves, and like I had gunny rolls, what they call gunny rolls, which is like loose down to your elbows, like, and they would be like, "Who the fuck are you with?" And I'd be like, "Oh, 3-4 snipers," and they'd be like, "Get out of my face," because they know,
Yeah,
like,
they
even if
can't-
they
yeah,
tell
yeah.
on you,
That's the rule. You can do what you want.
they just know that your platoon sergeant's gonna be like, I don't give a shit. Can he operate? Can he do what he's supposed to? Can he do your job? Like that's what matters. Whereas like the line platoons is what they call like the regular infantry guys. They care about all these other things, which I get it, but
Some of it I find kind of weird. Like especially like I get it like during basic training, but once you're like out in doing the job, it's weird. Like you got to keep the regulation on this and that. It's like. It's
Yeah.
like I get why you break them all down and bring them back up, but like once you're on the job, like
Yeah.
it's like telling a cop he has to wear his hat every time
Right.
he steps out of the car. It's like, well, fucking, it's hot. Who gives
Very
a shit?
similar.
Like, come on, we're in the desert.
Yeah.
My uniform is gonna be a little bit open because it's fucking hot.
Bro, I was stationed in 29 Palms, which is where everyone.
Oh yeah,
it was
hot
a
as
fucking
shit.
nightmare. Yeah, it's like 10, 20
It's
minutes
deep in the
away
desert.
from.
It's like 3 hours into the desert from here.
Yeah, 10 minutes away from Joshua Tree. And then when I get out to and move to LA, people are like, let's go take shrooms in Joshua Tree. I'm like, I'm
not
never
going
going
back.
back there again, dude. Like, that's the last place I want to do shrooms. You know, just flashbacks.
Bad memories of that. Remember basic and all this bullshit.
Dude, yeah. So, and it was like that. So, like, if you get caught with your Humvee window open, you get in trouble because you got to train how you fight, and there's not going to be AC over there. And I get it, but like at a certain point, it's like, yeah, I won't have my window open when I can get shot or blown up. But
Yeah,
here,
there's a lot of things over there that aren't over here. You know, let's enjoy them while they're here. I don't want to live like I'm over there until I'm over there.
Exactly,
you know,
bro.
I want to enjoy my time in America until I hate my time over there. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of that. So I don't do well with that, but the discipline and values and education I got from the Marines, like,
yeah. How were the classes? I feel like no one talks about that. 'Cause I bet you can learn a lot of cool shit. Because I had buddies who were like, one buddy went into avionics and he like is a fucking engineer for planes now. Like,
yeah,
you know, like there's a lot of shit you can learn that I feel like it's almost like a trade school, like a free trade school. Like if you go and pick one of those kind of things.
Yeah, bro. Like if there's ever a world war or somebody comes invades over here, I'll be pretty set. But other than that,
but I'm saying, but there's guys who fix radar, there's guys who fix trucks. Those guys. They got jobs right away coming out of it.
Very applicable. Yeah. My job, not so much.
Shooting people.
Yeah, I could have done like contracting and pretty much the same job, making 6 figures. Yeah, for like Blackwater or Triple Canopy or these other. And I could have done that. I have friends still doing that, and they make bank, and I considered it, but it's like, it's the same job, just making the money you should have been making.
You're also over there.
You're still over. Yeah.
So how long did you do in the service?
I did 4 years in the service.
And how long did you do overseas?
7 months. Marines only do 7-month deployments, which I say only, but like Army does a whole year, sometimes longer. And Marines think you shouldn't do, especially like these combat platoons shouldn't be doing more than 7 months because you get complacent. And honestly, you're complacent even at 7. Like, you're just
complacent. Like, I mean, I feel like you'd be on edge.
Yeah, but like once you're like after a few months, you're just like,
I guess it's like anything else. Like
when
you first start learning how to drive, you're like now you're like checking your phone. You know, like you just you're waiting on like you're on a mission. You're checking your Instagram.
For real, bro. Sending emails while you're mobbing.
You're in some fucking foxhole hiding with the ghillie suit on. And all of a sudden, your face lights up because you check your Instagram.
They didn't. Yeah. Thankfully,
they
that
spotted
wasn't.
me. How? I was checking my Instagram.
Oh yeah. Thankfully, that stuff wasn't even a thing when I was. It's 2006 to 2010. I was in, so that was before like Instagram was even a thing. Facebook was out, but like your phones weren't as good as they are now. There. Yeah.
And you said you were in Iraq?
I was in Iraq, for 7 months.
Whereabouts?
All over, man. I was in Hit, Kubesa, Haklania, Haditha Dam. Because when you're with snipers, you kind of go all over the place wherever they need you.
What's it like living out there, like on the base and shit?
It's pretty shitty, man. It depends which base. Like, because, as
some of our bases are like
they're
entire cities.
Bro, and they have pools and like Taco Bell and McDonald's on them and like...
Yeah. So, which I didn't know until like the friends in the service told me, like, oh, yeah, like, what are you talking about? There's a whole fucking, they do every fast food chain is on the base.
So I wasn't at any of those bases. I was at the shithole bases
with drinking goat milk and fucking eating sand?
For real, yeah. And like shitty porta potties. So like individual deployments vary greatly. So like, but other people don't know that. So when they hear any like, buddy went to Iraq, they're just like, oh my God. And I'm just like, you bitch, you were chilling by the pool in Al-Assad the whole time, you know?
You get a hotel room, for Christ's sake.
They do, yeah. Like Air Force even has like people that come and clean their rooms for them and shit. And it's just...
They got maids?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of teaching you to make the bed?
Yeah.
You guys spend all that time making the perfect bed, and then you got the maid to do it.
Perfect bed, bro. 6 inches of white. You had to bounce a quarter on it. Like... ridiculous shit, yeah. And in boot camp, they would do dumb game. Like every time you got in trouble, you would just have to tear your bed apart and rebuild it like 100 times. And they'd be like 2 sheets and a blanket, and they'd say deep, and you go and move, and you run, and you rip your blanket, you rip everything apart, and you standing online holding your whole blanket and all your bed together, and you put it back together. No, if somebody fucked up, break it, and then like just all those kind of games.
How often do people laugh? In situations, like, 'cause obviously they get mad if you laugh.
Oh, bro.
But I mean, sometimes, and I'm sure some of those drill sergeants are funny with the shit they bark at people.
They're funny.
So like, someone's getting yelled at down, and he gives them a good zinger. I'm gonna crack. Like,
You do.
and they're coming for me. But it must happen all the time.
Oh yeah, especially after a couple months in, because Marines have the longest boot camp. It's 13 weeks, so it's like
God.
3 months. Yeah. So like after 1 month, you're just like even dumb shit. Like when I first got there, I didn't realize what kind of environment I was on, and like you get these stamps, and it was in the intro before you go off to your companies where you're gonna go, and it's like a drill instructor, and he's showing you how to use your stamp kit to stamp all your gear, and he put like a couple of the letters on backwards. I was like, haha, you put the letters on backwards. He goes, are you fucking laughing? He grabs me by the shirt, takes a stamper, stamps my forehead, dude. And that was like, welcome to
your
boot
boys
camp.
were laughing at you then.
Their faces, bro, they turned white as ghosts. They couldn't believe it
Stamped you in the
either.
face.
Just stamped my fucking forehead with the thing. And I shit my pants because I was like,
That's
the
too
first
funny, yeah.
morning, I was like, whoa, dude, what did I get myself into? Because he was like the cool guy showing us. I was like, okay.
If he's that way, the hard ass must be tough.
Oh my God, the hard ass ones are insane.
What was like the worst shit they ever asked you to do during basic?
In boot camp?
Like what? Yeah, like.
Just, I mean, there's different worse shits. Like there's the sleep and food deprivation, which is very minimal in boot camp compared to when you go to like infantry school or like sniper school or even pre-sniper. The sleep and food deprivation is increased a lot, and that's some of the hardest stuff I've ever had to do because you're hangry, you're so tired, like you're falling asleep every time you sit down.
Yeah.
But other stuff that's hard is like just getting used to the weird shit. Like in boot camp, they'll make you get naked and everybody get naked. And like one time, one dude was like covering up his crotch, and they'll just, because you have to stand at attention and look straight forward, and they'll just come and they can walk all behind you. So they'll just come out of nowhere and scare the shit out of him. Like, wow. And like he was standing there like that, and they were like, they popped out. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? And his last name was Mole. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing, Mole? Why are you covering your dick? You're making me think you're some kind of weirdo. And like, I'm like, trying not to laugh. So
How do you get that job? How do you get the drill instructor job?
that job's actually one of the hardest jobs.
I imagine
in the Marines.
it seems like they put them through a lot of school to do that stuff.
It's almost like a second boot camp for those guys, from what I've heard. But that's on your re-enlistment if you want to keep going, which honestly,
what kind of
bro,
a fucking nut job does want that job, right? I mean, like it's like, oh, I like boot camp so much, I want to stay at it. Like what?
yeah.
Like what?
Bro,
because those guys do. Those guys are jacked. They do a lot of they're fucking doing all that running with you and bullshit.
yeah.
Like anything they ask you to do, they are excellent at because they've done it 1,000 times.
Bro, and they're working like 16-hour days, like unreasonable shifts.
Yeah, and I'm
like,
sure you guys leave and the next fucking class comes in
Yeah.
and just right again.
It's miserable, man. I can't imagine. Honestly, when looking back, I'm like, how did I make it through that hell? Dude? And I got lucky because, like, yeah, I got lucky to get out honorably and get all my benefits. Like,
Were you planning on only doing the 4 years, or were you think maybe I'll make a career out of it, or just see how it goes?
I wasn't sure, yeah. But I decided shortly after that I was like, nah, this is a 4 year
Day two
thing.
after he stamped me in the forehead with his fucking initials, I was like, I'm not. This is not for me.
Yeah,
Getting
dude.
bopped in the head.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that. Like which I don't know. Honestly, it makes real life so much easier. After you get through, there's a tough period of right when you get out, before, like when you're transitioning from back to civilian life, because you're going from that world, which is very different, back to the regular world.
Yeah.
And you're still used to just fucking screaming at anybody. And like, you can't talk to a regular person like that because they're going to be like, this person, I'm never going to see you. Like,
Yeah.
people
Also, the
just-
sense of urgency you have in that scenario is not what the sense of urgency people have on their day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
You're like,
And you
it's
come
hey,
back,
man,
people-
calm down. You're like,
Right. And people are complaining about like little dumb shit, and you've like lost friends to like real shit. And it's like, it's hard to relate. So that's the hardest part. But after that, now I'm just like, college was a breeze. Like I had good
Where'd you
grades.
go to school?
I went to UCLA and Pepperdine.
nice. Oh, both?
Both. Yeah. I went for undergrad to UCLA, and I got my master's at Pepperdine.
You got your master's in what?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Where'd you
They
get it?
paid me to go to school. So I was
Yeah,
like,
where'd you get your master's in?
psychology.
That's awesome, dude. I had no
Yeah.
idea. Pepperdine's fucking gorgeous campus.
Pepperdine is gorgeous.
Both schools, tons of hot broads.
Yeah. Actually.
I mean, you're Marine, so you're gay, but for the other guys, hot chicks.
Hey, yeah, the Marines would say it's only gay if you push back. Or if you'd be like, it's not gay if it's cold, because you'd be like cold weather mountain warfare training.
Oh, yeah, you gotta stay warm.
Sleeping in igloos, like crazy shit. But actually, what's weird is the hottest girls that out of all the schools I went to was at Orange Coast College in Orange County.
Oh, of course, dude. Come on, any
Insane.
community college in a sunny, warm area. I mean, it's all the dumb hot chicks.
Well, I went to Santa Monica
be honest,
College
dude.
after, which so I did 1 year of community at OCC, 1 year at Santa Monica College, which was dumb. I should have I ultimately just saved the government money because
If they're paying for the whole fucking thing.
yeah, but I saw it as like easier to get in or whatever, and it worked out. But I was like, and I thought they're gonna keep getting hotter because I was like, oh, at Santa Monica they're gonna be hotter, and then I was like, oh, UCLA they're gonna be hotter. They never got hotter than at OCC. They were just, and I've heard stories that they recruit from Playboy out of there, and yeah, because you get all like the conservative Orange County girls going
All right,
there.
tip for the male listeners: if you're anywhere near Southern California, OCC, hang out on that campus.
OCC,
OCC.
man, game changer.
So you were saying you were talking about the transition getting out of the service. Do they provide like a whole reorientation thing? Because I feel like it's weird. I mean, like everyone's, we support the troops until they're done trooping,
Right.
and then we just fucking do nothing for them, and it's really sad to me.
Yeah.
So do they have like like a 6-8 week like transition period with like, all right,
No,
you
man.
let you talk to somebody, they bring you back onto a base in the U.S. and let you like decompress from whatever the fuck was going on over there?
There's a few issues, and they might have fixed them since I've been out, but Seps and Taps is what they call it, and it's like a 3-day course.
3-day course,
and it's
yeah.
garbage. And I like
They spend 13 weeks training you, 3 days letting you go.
3 days, and then also there's like this taboo of getting your disability too, of like while you're in there, like, oh, you better not, like they almost have you like, no matter how bad it was for you, claim that you don't have PTSD, because you'll go through these post evaluations after you come back from war, and they pretty much are like, if you say yes to this, like this is what happens, so you pretty much just say no. But ultimately, it's stopping a lot of guys from getting the benefits
The help they need, yeah.
that they deserve too, that
Yeah.
they risk their life
Yeah,
for.
it's not like you guys are getting paid enough on your salary to make it worth it up front anyway.
Oh, even if you're 100% disabled, it's not a ton of money to some of these guys that are like missing limbs or whatever.
Of course, yeah. What's your legs worth? Yeah, like
Even it's even if you're 100, even if you have 100% and you lived in LA, you have to have another source of income. It's not enough
Yeah.
to live at some of these.
well, like what's 100% payment?
100%, I think, is around $3,100 a month.
Oh,
No
yeah.
taxes.
Net.
Just net, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you
if
can't
you
live
have
off
kids or you're married, it's
They
a
give you a little
little,
more.
it's a little more, yeah. But that's
not-
that's fine if you live
Yeah,
in
if you live in
Oklahoma,
where you grew up.
you could
Yeah.
retire. But 100% is really hard to get. You have to have a combined rating of like over 200% to even get 100. Like there's people that are missing limbs that do not have 100%.
That's insane.
It's insane, yeah.
Dude, I feel like if any foreign object enters your body, you should be eligible for 100%. You're like
Yeah.
flat out. Like if any bullet,
Unconsensually,
Yeah.
at least.
if your drill instructor fucks you in the ass, you get 100%.
If you said yes, I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe some combat pay, something. But yeah, dude, I think there's some room for improvements there, especially if you look at how much we spend
on all the other shit.
the trillions we spend on our military alone is
Oh, dude,
insane.
well, what is it, that one plane? Was it the F-22? We spent like 1.2 trillion, and and we just scrapped it.
And that thing had
We didn't even-
so
we didn't do
many
it, we just
problems.
threw it away?
Or no, the F-35 did. And that's
They like
finally
moved on to the
done.
next one already or something.
Yeah.
1.2 trillion. Fuck, man. What'd you? I
And
mean,
it's,
it's
there's
insane
like
amount
no
of money.
receipts. It's like,
Oh,
what's
I've
going
had
on?
that. I mean, I've said that about voting, dude. Like, you go to CVS, you get a 3-mile-long fucking receipt for buying a tube of toothpaste, right?
Yeah.
The government doesn't have to give any of us taxpayers a receipt. Like, if they told me, like, oh, I paid $10,000 in taxes last year.
Right.
Here's your receipt. Here's where we spent the $10,000. Just give me a little pie chart.
Yeah.
Tell me where the money went.
Something.
We don't get any fucking receipt for the money. You know, and then I said, we're voting. You go into the voting booth, they give you a sticker.
We don't have
It's like, there should be a
healthcare.
printout saying my vote officially counted. You
Yeah.
know, like there's no proof that this was, like.
For sure. In California, we pay almost as much as Europe, and they have healthcare and educational benefits. We don't have any of that.
Yeah.
And I don't think in our lifetime we ever will, because it kind of...
There's too much money to be made keeping it out.
Not only that, like, who's fighting in our military? It's all mostly low SES, like, poor kids that need the benefits. So what's
is.
your incentive if everyone can get healthcare and benefits? Who's going to go fight your wars?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Like that, I was going to mention like That's why I was asking you what your process for going in was, because a lot of times, like you said, like it's a lot of guys and girls who don't know what else to do or don't have other options. I mean, there's a ton of first generation kids or even immigrants signing up because it's the fastest way to citizenship. It's like I said, you couldn't pay for college, so you go there, and they're the ones fighting all this stuff, and they just treat them like shit. It doesn't seem everyone, like I said, we give the lip service, but no one wants to do the work. And then they ask you stupid questions. I'm sure how many times it's probably the question you get asked all the time. You ever kill anybody?
Oh yeah.
Which is
I have a whole bit about it.
Yeah. Dude, it's like, well, do you ask women how many abortions have you had?
Yeah,
it's a fucking rude question to ask. How many sexual partners you got? What do you make in a year?
Yeah.
It's like,
what does your girlfriend do to you on your anniversary?
Yeah, like what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
and what I would like to say about that too is, and this is true, everybody asks soldiers that, whether or not they were incompetent or didn't kill somebody, which I think is inappropriate because obviously it's something.
Yeah.
If they did, it's something they wouldn't want to like openly like flaunt.
Right. And as a military person, if you say no, they're like, you didn't do much. If you say yeah, they're like, oh fuck, I feel weird.
Yeah,
like, I
feel
don't even
weird.
know how
He's a killer.
Yeah. So it's like it's a screwed situation for the vet too.
Yeah. But you know who people never ask how many people they killed? Doctors. Third leading cause of death in this country is medical malpractice. Over 250,000 people a year die from medical malpractice. They kill way more people than U.S. soldiers every year. Yeah. Nobody asked a doctor how many people have you killed, and I would argue it's more important.
That's
right?
true.
Because if you go to your doctor, hey, how many patients have you had die? Have you killed by malpractice? Oh, 3. Well, I'm going to leave now.
Yeah.
Like it's an important question, but nobody asked that. Everyone thinks doctors.
That's true.
Are like some sort of fucking genius, which is funny. Like, because I went to college too, great college.
Where'd you go?
I went to Brown.
Okay.
Had a lot of friends.
That's huge.
Yeah, had a lot of friends who went on to be doctors, and a lot of them were fucking C&D students.
Wow.
So like people just assume, oh, he's a doctor, he's smart. It's like, no, that guy was a fucking loser in college. Like that guy was dumb.
Yeah.
He just did enough to get through. Like not every doctor is a good doctor. Just like not every policeman or every teacher or every comedian. Like there's the bell curve exists for them too.
Yeah.
So there's a tale of fucking really bad, really stupid doctors out there.
Sure.
Just because they have a lab coat doesn't make them like ordained. It's really weird that they get a pass. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
Do you ever lie and tell them there's only women and children?
No, I'm outside of I mean I usually tell them the truth, but.
Oh, you actually answer the question?
Yeah, I do, and I'm very fortunate.
I wouldn't even ask. I got you here. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how many people you killed.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't kill any.
I'm fortunate.
I'm glad you didn't kill me.
I'm glad I didn't have to kill anybody because, like.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not.
Okay.
And once you get out,
that's got to mess with your head.
It would have, especially now that I got an education. I don't agree with a lot of the wars we're fighting, and I support the military people within it.
I love that you say that, dude.
Yeah.
Because people think, like, there's a lot of people out there that if you have any criticism of policies or procedures that the United States government or we have, it's a criticism of the troops, and it's like no. They're taking orders.
Right.
I have a problem with the person giving them. That's your problem.
And even
with the soldiers.
They're taking orders.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's all just trickled down.
People who are voted into office are making decisions, not generals, not.
Yeah. I think some wars you have to do, like World War II, you had to do that. They're trying to exterminate a whole race of people,
exactly.
and we got to that
take
one.
Take over the world. Yeah, honestly,
we got to that one kind of late, if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly.
So we
waited around.
Yeah,
a little bit too long.
I don't know, but some of these other ones, I think we're there too long. Why are we there? What was the result of it? Look at it. Look at what happened in Afghanistan and Iraq. We pull out they come
goes
back.
right back to the fucking mess it was before we got worse.
Yeah.
You got a lot of buddies over there still?
No, I don't think so. I don't. I have a couple friends that are still in.
I gotta believe the burnout rate's high.
Yeah, man. There's a few lifers, but a lot of my friends got out to do contracting or do other things and have gone on to become very successful in their fields, thankfully. And a lot of that probably has to do with the military and what's cool is they have changed a lot of the benefits. Like I was the first year to get the second year to get the new GI Bill. The old GI Bill sucked. The new one, if you went to school in California, they not only paid for all your college, you would make about a little under $3,000 a month while you're going to school.
Oh, dude, that's great.
So I treated it like a job. Yeah, I was like, this is easy. I'm going, like, all I have to do is
You're able to go
attention.
full-time into school.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's all I did.
Yeah.
And I was making like 6 figures while I was going to school because of all these unemployment. Yeah. And it was when Obama was in, so I think you could have it for like 2 years. And then I got my disability.
So you're the real welfare queen.
Yeah, pretty much. Bro, I was killing it. And then
I don't know.
And
Somebody
then
walked into our podcast. I don't know. Is he?
somebody just.
I think a homeless
in.
person was just looking for a place to take a shit and walked into the studio. I swear to God.
Wait, what? Homeless person what?
Walked in here to try and take a shit in the studio.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not what happened to you, Armin. We'll talk about that off the air.
Oh God.
Armin's got a good story.
Oof.
Wait till
From
you hear it.
I'm guessing this encampment over here.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I'm guessing this little refugee camp underneath underneath the bridge over here.
Bro, he's got he's got like a 6-man tent set up over there. His electronic wheelchair. I'm like, dude.
He's got a lazy boy in the tent.
Bro, I think I heard the game on in there. He's watching baseball.
Had a margarita mixer going. I don't know where he's getting electricity from.
Listen, don't be mad at me for going to college. Be mad at him. He's getting money from somewhere. Yeah, dude. It was weird though too, because like most kids are struggling in college, and I was doing well. Plus, I'm older. I was 22. I felt like.
Oh my God! You must have been fishing with dynamite, talking to broads.
Yeah, that part.
I mean, like 20. Even 22. You're 4 years older than them.
Yeah.
You're a freshman. The freshman of 18.
Yep.
You've had some military experience, right? I'm sure you're in great shape. You just got out of the service.
Yeah.
It's hot shit. You got a uniform. You can fucking flash on them if you want.
Yeah.
You can show them a little medal, something,
Yeah.
Pull out a gun maybe. I don't know. Whatever it is you guys do to get laid.
Yeah. All of the above.
All of the above. Yeah. You must have been fishing with dynamite, dude.
Yeah. It was.
And you had bread?
It was cool. Yeah. It was cool, but it's kind of a difficult transition to fit in too, because you have these. You can't really relate to these guys. Too.
Yeah, you're an adult and they're kids. You're like, what the fuck? These people complaining about their TikTok, and you're like, I was sitting in a hole in the ground for 7 days tracking a guy, sweating my tits off. Like, this is not, I don't care how many likes I got.
For sure. At that point, I didn't. Now I care again.
Yeah. You've been brainwashed back into this horrible society.
Yeah, I'm back. But it's wild.
What's going on? Again, there's no one booked, right?
That was Mike.
Who's that? Oh, Mazzalotti, okay. So, yeah, I forgot where I was. Oh, yeah, I was asking about being over there. So what kind of, like, do they let you off the base? Can you, do anything when you're over there?
In Iraq? Absolutely not. No.
You're not stationed anywhere where you can leave the base?
No. You're on, FOBs, which are, so there's these big bases that we talked about with the nice food and stuff, and then there's, small, one company, there's just one company at this entire base, very small.
And how many people in a company?
And it's been bombed before. Well, actually, it's a platoon, not even a company.
Oh, so
usually.
8, 12 people, not even?
No, platoons are a little bigger. I can't remember the exact numbers, but so you usually have, I think, 3 companies plus weapons in an entire battalion. So it would be a whole platoon plus a platoon of snipers. A platoon of snipers, I think there was about maybe 30 of us.
Okay. So it's 60, 50, 60 people in this.
Yeah, the platoons of line companies are a little larger though.
Okay.
But yeah, less than 100 on some of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Trying to gauge the size. Just 100 guys in a fucking building trying to secure it.
Some of them didn't even have internet, or a lot of them didn't. And you're eating. So it's just very weird.
Okay, so it's not like the Navy where you got these guys going on shore leave, fucking lady boys in Thailand and shit.
There's no women in the infantry. When I went through, women could not be in the infantry. So it was a very brutal experience.
Yeah. Can they be now?
I think so. I think they passed it.
Where do you stand on that? Would you be cool having a chick in the
I think as long as you don't lower the standards, the physical standards, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I get the concept of but all these psychological things, but you could say the same thing about gay people.
Yeah. Or fucking men. It's as if cowardice doesn't exist in men.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of men out there who aren't fit to serve in the infantry.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of women who are.
Right.
Who
exactly.
Much better take their place.
As long as they pass it, I don't mind as long as the standards don't drop. Because
well, they have to perform the task.
They
have to perform the task that you have to perform.
Absolutely.
That's the thing about the Army, too. You all have to be it's a machine. You guys are interchangeable parts. right? I mean, like
I don't know much about the Army, but I was in the Marines. But
well, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Army, Marines, you know me.
Yeah.
To me, it's all.
To everybody.
At least I
it
didn't
is.
say you were in the Coast Guard. In the Marines, you're all interchangeable. Like you all know how to do the same. Like if somebody goes down, you can fill the space. Like
Yeah, and ultimately you need to be able to grab that dude and drag
Carry
him
him
out of
yeah.
there, because we don't leave any, even if they're dead. Marines are big on like not leaving anybody behind. You get that person out of there and bring them back home to their family. Like it's one of our biggest like values.
I know, which is a value I love, but it seems
A little
antithetical
pointless.
to war strategy.
But also that person has a bunch of equipment on him. Like he has weapons, he has classified information on him. He has a map that tells you everything about where he's staying, how to get there, all the missions he's been on. So like I get it too, to a certain point.
Oh, like
he has
from a
night vision
perspective.
goggles. Yeah. So like you ultimately don't want to be like giving the enemy tons of weapons and stuff, you know?
But don't they try and draw you out with something like that? Like knowing that, like if I knew that Americans were going to go get their guy, it's like, well, it's a matter of time before they come out. I'm going to wait until they come out.
The smarter ones did. The Taliban were much smarter, which thankfully I didn't have to deal with because they're mostly in Afghanistan. But those guys were busting headshots. Like they were trained by us when we were.
Oh my God!
When they were at war with Russia, we each went there and trained them as like
so
a proxy.
they know how to shoot.
So they're good. Yeah, they're using our own tactics against us. So it's a very different war. But yeah, they figure out all kinds of stuff. They've gotten like sniper rifles from a platoon, like one platoon, like we're taught after this incident not to set up base by a river, because no matter what, there's always what's called fire watch, which is ultimately like a few people that have to stay awake
make sure anything
and take
happens
turns.
overnight.
Yeah, and watch the whole thing. And I guess the river lulled these guys to sleep, and they just came in and wiped these dudes out, took their rifles. And actually, one of my instructors in sniper school was the guy who got that rifle back and killed like one of their snipers that was using it. And he was set up in the trunk of a car in a vehicle hide. So he had the trunk and he had just the hole taken out.
out of like the keyhole.
Yeah, and he was shooting out there, and he's about to like try to take a shot on like the battalion commander, and the sniper set up Overwatch to set up security for the battalion commander coming through, and he like saw him moving through there. And
I was going to say, how could you even see that?
Got
I mean, like
him,
the
dude.
vision you guys must have to be able to make a shot like that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of weird exercises we have to do. Like in sniper school, you have to go and they'll set up a bunch of like little things anywhere from 100 to like 800 yards out. And then it could be like a shoestring in a tree and all these different things. And you have to scan the area and find them. So you're like really trained on
Oh my God, it's like the
stuff.
hardest search. Like, you remember those like back in the day, the Scholastic Fair, they'd have those highlights books and you do like the search for the item.
Yeah, dude, that's
It's
where
like the hardest version of that.
Yeah, I crushed those, so I was ready, dude.
I was like, dude, I was killing the highlights. Definitely a sniper.
Yeah.
Made for it.
Are those? Is that your thong in the tree, Staff Sergeant?
Were you shooting a 50 cal?
I've shot the 50 cal. That shoots 2,000 yards away over a mile.
I was gonna say you could do a mile hit on that. Does that scope even see a mile? Like,
It does.
'Cause I've gone elk hunting, so I've seen like through like
Yeah.
a regular 30-06 scope.
So-
and you could hit an elk at like 200 yards like, as an intermediate shot.
I've hit targets out to 2,000 yards.
That's crazy. I mean,
It's-
like it must just be moving fucking all over the place.
So that
Like your heartbeat
rifle-
will move the fucking thing.
Yeah, so you want to be low to the ground, and all these basics you learn of like shooting in between your breasts, like between your exhale and your inhale. You also get a natural point of aim, so you close your eyes, take a deep breath, and open them, and where your rifles are automatically aiming, then you adjust because you want that natural point of aim to be perfectly on. No flinching, bucking, and jerking when you pull the trigger. Slow, steady squeeze. And then you have like a little sock that's filled with sand, and that kind of adjusts your elevation. So it's a lot
Sock
of
filled with sand.
yeah.
Like you just lay it underneath you.
So the butt of the rifle, you put it under the butt of the rifle.
to adjust the
slightly
rifle.
adjust
Okay.
it's all like a bunch of little shit put together. And that weapon already has a 3-inch minute of angle. So that means that every 100 yards, your shot groups gets 3 inches bigger. So at 2,000 at 2,000 yards, the best that gun's capable of holding within a 3-shot group is 60 inches. So that's a pretty big circle.
Okay. Just naturally the
Yeah.
air dynamics, whatever the
That gun,
Yeah.
its capabilities. Yeah, the other gun we use is pretty much a Remington Model 700 with a tons of mods on it. And the scope on both of them is a Schmidt & Bender German, like $3,000 scope that's like meant to hunt people.
Yeah.
And like we know that the average, like you have all this when you're in
Yeah, so there must be a lot of
country.
classroom stuff that comes.
It's a
Like,
lot
'cause
of
it seems like a lot of
classroom stuff.
geometry. You know, like a lot of.
Yeah,
and
it's
aerodynamics,
a lot
and
of
figuring out,
the person's shoulder width's 20 inches average, so you can plug that into how many mils they are in your scope, and you can actually find out how far away they are. In real
based
life,
on that, doing that math. Okay.
yeah, in real life, you're going to have a laser rangefinder anyway. This is like worst case scenario. Your shit's all gone out. So you have to learn how to do it without all the technology.
Jesus.
And that's the hardest
So
part.
what is an average sniper walking around with, like out in the field, like $30,000 worth of shit on him?
A lo-
I mean, it's got to be. If the gun itself must be fucking $8,000 between the scope and and everything else.
Yeah, the gun plus the scope's probably about 7 or 8. Yeah. That's not the 50 cal. I don't even know how much that is. The 50 cal is heavy too. It's like I want to say, like, fuck, I used to have to memorize all this. I think it's like 30-something pounds unloaded.
Jesus.
And the weight that you're carrying as a sniper is, like, unreal. Sometimes upwards to 100 pounds in your pack. And I was, like, one of the smallest guys.
I know, I was going to say, you're not a big dude. Are you a crack shot now, though?
I can still shoot really well, yeah.
Have you been hunting since you got out of sniper school? It must be like fucking child's play at that point.
I haven't gone hunting.
You go down to Venice and just shoot at the homeless for fun? It's a little extra governmental work.
Continuing my service.
Yeah, you're doing community service.
Oh, man. Dude. They would thank me, the people in Venice, for sure. Those houses.
I know, right?
The whole
property value's going up if you show up out there with a sniper scope.
Bro. No, but I did I did kill a deer in sniper school, and you're not supposed to do that.
Wait, was he on the range?
It was on the range, and it was.
What a dumb deer! How fucking stupid can you be as a deer? Like think about it. Like they spend all their lives running away from bears and fucking wolves and us with guns, and one wanders onto a shooting range.
But it was like 1,000 yards away too.
Oh my god, that's an incredible shot.
And also, these are deer that live. It was 933 yards away. These deer live on Camp Pendleton, and like you're definitely not supposed to shoot at them or.
Well, he was in the way of the target.
It was dumb, bro.
He must. I mean, how big was the round you fired at him?
It was a 7.62, so it was a 308.
Okay, so his fucking head exploded.
No, but the 50 cal. That's a Rofus round, so it has a shape charge in it, so it explodes on impact.
I was going to say I saw videos on YouTube of them using 50 cals in Afghanistan.
Oh yeah,
and
blows people apart,
completely off the mountain, like entire pieces of the body flew. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, because it has a shape charge in it, so once it hits, it explodes on impact.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. It's a Rofus round. It's insane, those rounds we use. And dude, that gun will kick you back as you shoot it. You'll be like moving back because it's the recoil. That thing that's what I had. That was the weapon I had to carry in Iraq.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
30 pounds of it?
Yeah. Plus the bullets. It's each magazine holds 10 rounds. And
each round is a pound and a half or whatever the fuck. It's
heavy.
Enormous, yeah.
Yeah. What were we saying before that? Oh, the deer.
Yeah.
So you're on unknown distance range, so we have to run out these steel targets and put them in different ranges. Then you have to draw each target in the land and where they're at and how far away each one is using your formulas. And at the end, the instructor is no longer on what we call the big eye, which is this huge telescope that they use to make sure you hit. Because you get 2 shots on unknown distance range, and you go down the lines, fire on 3, 2, and on the Tia 2 you shoot. Because in a raid, that's what you would do. On the Tia 2, the snipers shoot, and then on 1, the riflemen kick in the doors and raid the place.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's all coordinated. And then miss, re-engage in 3, 2, and you have to fire again if you miss. But we're firing off our remaining rounds, and there was a deer, and my buddy was sitting next to me. I was like, you see that deer, Smaker? He's like, don't do it. I was like, and he was like one of the best Marines ever, like just squared away.
Rambo.
Beast, yeah.
That's a very service term, squared away.
Oh yeah, that
he was
is.
Squared away.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm doing it. And I shot, and the first shot I saw, it was low and to the left, and I Kentuckied it high and to the right, and the deer jumped up, and I was like, I got him. And then we run to
and you blamed it on him when you got in trouble. Hey, fucking the squared away guy did it.
Well, you go to take down the targets, and most people run to the closest target because you have to pick up this steel target and bring it back. I sprint to the farthest one because I want to see where that deer was, and Smaker comes with me. And I get over the ridge line, and I see a deer stand there. I was like, oh, fuck, I must have not hit it. And I grabbed a rock, and I threw a rock, and it scurried off. And I was like, And then I walk a little forward, and he was standing next to the deer I did shoot, which was on the ground.
Okay.
And we went back that night to try to find it, to get the horns, because I thought it'd be cool to. Which is not okay. And like, I grew up, if you kill it, you eat it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm on that camp. Like, if you shoot it, you got to eat it.
And I'm big on that, and I was just dumb. Young and dumb.
Yeah, just trying to take a shot.
Be cool, and we couldn't find that deer. I don't know if coyotes got it. Coyotes.
Out there, I bet.
Yeah,
they
so
fucked it up. Might have been a goddamn
gone.
leopard or a mountain lion, rather.
Yeah,
I mean, out there,
there's
tons
those
of them.
bobcats too. There's everything out there. But that was a wild story.
So what? Now, when you're overseas, like, what do you guys do for fun if you're sitting on these fucking bases? Like, you must have some wild story of overseas.
We played poker a lot.
That doesn't involve, burning down a Vietnam village.
Well. Yeah, I actually got
too young for that, but
yeah, they used to do crazy shit for sure. Something happened. I got in trouble, so I got booted out of my platoon. And
how much trouble you in? Did you get an honorable discharge?
Yeah, I did.
After all this bullshit,
I got NJP'd for that though. So
what's NJP mean?
Non-judicial punishment. So like stops you at your rank, and you have to do a bunch of shit. And it was bullshit, man. And pretty much. I was at this special operations unit before I went to
even
snipers.
out of basic, you're getting in trouble.
Yeah. Even
I've been in trouble the whole time I was there.
Bro,
4 years of trouble.
Even after I got out, I got in trouble. Yeah.
I was retired and the military was pissed at me somehow. I lost rank even though I left.
I'm just now to where the most trouble I get into is like a speeding ticket. Just now in my mid-30s, bro. I think the last big trouble I got in was DUI on my 30th birthday.
It's your 30th birthday. You got to celebrate somewhere or another.
Yeah, I celebrated. And my dog was with me, and it was a mess. But that was the last big trouble I've been in.
But I was saying in terms of like fun you can get into on the camps out there, at the bases.
We played, once I went on sides with those other platoons, we played like volleyball and stuff, and there was like...
Oh, very Top Gun. That's the mustache, huh?
Yeah, that's why I brought it, yeah.
Well, cum strainer.
Oh, yeah. What's it called?
It's a good mustache, though.
Yeah, thanks.
It's fucking solid mustache. I can't grow a mustache like that.
No, you look like you can.
I mean, I got a little something, but not that. I mean, that's a push broom. That's fucking legit.
I don't know if I want it to be a push broom.
It's classy. It goes with the
Thanks,
dimple on
bro.
your chin. Very good looking guy. Look at Bryson Banks over here. He must
Thanks,
have cleaned
brother.
up at OCC.
I appreciate it.
Did you wear your dress, whatever fucking blues?
The dress blues, dude. Yeah, those are. I have some fun stories about the dress blues too.
They still make you wear the sock, like suspenders. You ever see that?
Yeah. Shirt stays.
What are they called?
Shirt stays, and they're like little things that clip onto your socks, and then they go and clip up on the bottom of your shirt and keep your shirt pulled down.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It must be a fucking.
Uncomfortable.
It must be like getting ready for a drag show, trying to take a leak, like taking all that shit off, putting it all back on, like.
Probably worse. I'd prefer a drag show.
Yeah, at least you got a dress, just piss right down.
Yeah, and in LA, people respect you more for the drag show.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, you might have moved to the worst city as a veteran. If you're doing this shit in Dallas, I mean, look, he runs Semper Funny, a great show, and you run. Is that the only one you got? You got a bunch, right?
I do another one at the Belmont too, the regulars. Okay. But Semper Funny kind of moves to like I'm doing it in San Diego next weekend.
Nice, but I'm saying that show's great. But like in Dallas, I mean, there's fucking or Spokane, anywhere near a base. Right, they really come out. I mean, LA, you couldn't get a town less enthused about the military.
That's true.
Yeah, which is insane. Because I mean, obviously, all the freedom we have is the luxury of somebody else's kids. It's not like,
Yeah,
it's
to some degree.
Sadly, it's not like anyone in the Hollywood Hills is fucking showing up in Iraq.
No, and even like the congressman's children, they go. Like I was in boot camp the same time McCain's son went through. McCain's son flew in on a private jet and and went through. But like
that's kind of crazy because McCain obviously famously stayed in a POW camp for 4 years when he didn't need to out of
a lot
integrity.
of respect for that guy.
Yeah,
but his son wasn't infantry, so like they're not picking like. The jobs where you're most likely to get killed either,
He's not a fighter pilot.
Yeah, they're just checking that. Or I don't want to say checking that box, whatever. But if he's going to be a politician, it obviously looks better if you served in the military.
That's weird. You ever thought about getting into politics, like your kind of thing?
Yeah, that used to be my plan. When I first moved here, I was going to go the Ronald Reagan route.
I was going to say, because you seem very presidential with the mustache.
Thanks, bro.
I mean,
yeah,
1880s presidential.
We're
not talking about
pull out the quarter sleeve.
Yeah,
okay.
it's 1880. The mustache is very 1880. You couldn't get away with that mustache today as president.
It's really difficult.
In West Hollywood, you'd be super popular though. Oh my god.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
I was a Marine with the mustache. Forget about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They're
you
like-
walked
they're like
you walked
a
out on Santa Monica
submarine.
Boulevard in your dress blues. You're gonna get butt fucked before you get to
They're
San
aggressive
Vicente.
there. Yeah, I've got, like, yeah. And girls are like, you don't know what it's like being a woman. I'm like, I've been to the gay club on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I think I have an idea.
Yeah, free drinks and an ass grab, worst thing in the world.
Yeah, but I get it. No, and even like I've gone there with my girlfriend at one time, and like this dude tried to make out with me. I was like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm like, it's my girlfriend. He comes in again. I was like, "All right, dude."
Oh, dude, I've said that to. So I live with a gay guy in West Hollywood.
Do you?
It might have been me trying to make out with you. No, but I've asked him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, it's true." The whole Me Too thing was going on, and obviously, everyone needs to take women seriously when they accuse someone of sexual harassment. But I was like, it must happen a lot to gay dudes too. Like,
sure.
Because men are men.
Right.
And they'll meet to a chick and they'll meet to a dude. Like if they're into dudes, they're going to do that to them. If they're into chicks, they're going to do it to them. Like, so there must be, millions of guys out there, gay or not, who've been Me Too'd by another guy.
I'm sure. Yeah, and that's probably taken way less seriously.
Oh no, yeah, I've said it. Nobody cares about men's safety.
Yeah.
That's women and children first, right? Men get drafted, women don't.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, did you know this? They're still women are fighting that. So they I forget who it was. Somebody tried to introduce a bill, change to the civil service clause, stating that women have to fill out because when all men turn like 15 or 16, we have to fill out a form for civil service. There's no draft now,
right?
But you have to like register in case there ever is one.
Yep.
And they tried to change the law. It said women also have to do it at 16 or 17. And women's groups lobbied against it. It's like, well, that doesn't seem like equal rights to me now, does it? Like feminism isn't about equal rights. Feminism is about women's rights. They want all the rights and none of the responsibilities. Just like every other group wants what they want and doesn't want what they want. You know what I'm saying?
No comment.
No, but I think it's wild that women are like, oh yeah, we want to be in the infantry. Great. It's like, but we also don't want to register for the draft. It's like, well, then what do you want? Like, you can't have it both ways. Either you're treated equally or you're treated differently.
Yeah.
I can't be treated equally when I want and then differently when I want.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
They drop that feminism when you try to split the check real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when there's a line at the club, I'm sure they're not like, oh, I'll wait with the guys in the back.
Yeah.
No, they're going right to the front, dude.
Yeah.
Never.
No, they still got perks for sure. Yeah.
So no chicks at all the entire time you were over there?
Actually, well...
Did you fall in love with a little
once
Iraqi lady?
I actually hooked up with an interpreter that was Iraqi.
I was going to say, dude, Persian, those Middle Eastern chicks are hot. There must be some out there.
She was from Iraq. She was from Babylon, Iraq, or that area.
Babylon, huh?
Whatever, yeah.
Old Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. Bro, yeah, it was wild. That was after I had gotten in trouble, but...
I got in trouble, so I went and had sex with a local. That was going to make it better.
I did not have sex with her. She wanted to, but there's no condoms in Iraq. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I have a whole bit about it, and
and she must have been breaking the rules if she's like a observing Muslim. I mean, obviously you can't have sex with the infidel.
She was pretty too.
Well, I was hoping she wasn't ugly.
Well,
yeah, she was ugly, but she was the only woman I saw in 9 months, so I fucked her.
Yeah,
she was 106, but boy, did she put up a fight.
We all have stories like that, don't we?
Oh yeah.
I mean, imagine coming back from 7 months in the desert with no chicks. Like,
oh, dude, I had a buddy trying to tell me over the weekend. We were drinking on Friday night, and he's like, "You ever had like bad sex?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean," he's like, "But bad sex is better than no sex." I'm like, "That's not true. What do you think? Is bad sex better than no sex?"
No. Honestly,
I don't agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I have a very serious girlfriend now.
It's all right. I'm not asking you about
No,
your sex with
I
her.
don't mind. But like, at this point in even like now, I don't even like. I mean, it's done. That part of my life's over right now, and I think, hopefully for good. But I don't.
It doesn't change her mind.
I hope she's not watching this. No. I just even sex without the emotional component for me as I've gotten older. Like, I don't like the way I feel after hooking up with a random chick that I have no like chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like slightly depressed and like down on myself.
I like that honesty about it. That's not weird. It's just you're at a different point in your life. You're not 22 anymore.
And I used to live for those.
Yeah.
As scummy as that sounds, I used to think that was so cool and like.
Yeah, but even just from a physical standpoint, like even if a girl is like attractive and I've had sex with her and it's good and she wants to have sex again, but I don't like her as a person. It's like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I'd rather. So my buddy was like, you saying you'd rather have no sex?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, if I don't like the girl,
Yeah.
Like, if she's a pain in my ass, if it's not worth it, like, I'm, all right, I'll have sex with somebody else or another time. Like, I don't need to invite that chaos back into my life.
And honestly, man, with what we're doing here, like, it takes so much time and effort. It's like, that's time. Time is your most valuable asset.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
And that's, dude, like, now I'm like, I would rather work. Like, even like,
yeah, that's why I just fuck my male comedy friends. That's what this podcast is about,
he's trying
Bryson.
to fuck me.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. This is me hitting on you. This is Me Too moment.
Oh, shit.
I kid.
I know. Well, that's a good thing I didn't take that White Claw. That's probably spiked.
I put a little something extra in it.
I was wondering why the white's crossed out and it just says Randy's Claws.
Randy's Claws. Yeah, I got a little extra in there. All right, we'll take a couple news stories real quick. I like to hit a couple current events at the end here.
Oh, cool.
And it's not, don't worry, it's not anything serious.
Oh,
I like to tell my guests, I go to the New York Post, which is essentially a tabloid.
I like some of their stuff.
Oh, it's good stuff. But listen to this. A granny's dying wish. She wants a giant penis on her tombstone.
Give it to her.
Right?
I mean, I don't want it next to my gravesite, but
that's the best part. A great grandmother has a singular request for her grave. She wants a 5.5 foot tall, 600-pound penis statue on top of it.
Wait, but is the feet supposed to be symbolic for inches? Because 5.5 inches isn't that giant.
No, 5.5 foot.
But like, what's the scale?
Oh, the scale?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's Shaq's dick.
5.5 feet. Wait, how is the girth?
600 pounds. So here, I'll show. Here's a photo of it. I'll put it on the clip.
There's a photo. Ask for that next.
There's the dick she wants on her.
Those are classroom classic shoes.
Oh, that's an ad. Fucking. There you go. On the left. It's a pretty big dick.
It's a wide
5.5
dick.
feet, 600 pounds.
I would say.
I'm pretty sure the biggest size queen in the world couldn't take that up her ass.
Well, at scale.
At scale.
That's a girthy average dick at scale, I think.
Oh, you're saying like if down to normal size. Okay. It's not like comically long.
I think that's just her husband's dick. She just had it enlarged to show
that would
texture,
be amazing.
That'd
be good for him. He'd be like, I'm fucking, like, everyone thinks I got a big dick
so
now.
he can see it from heaven,
See my dick from heaven.
She's like, honey, I finally made your dick bigger. Your dying wish.
So a family did it. They said they erected it, the monument, in recognition of her love and joy for life.
I love that. I love that they erected it.
They erected it. I know. She wanted to break the paradigm of everything Mexican, where things are sometimes hidden because of not having an open mind. She was always very avant-garde and very forward-thinking, so she wanted a giant dick on her fucking grave.
Okay, but if that's true, and then why is the dick circumcised?
Yeah, it is a circumcised dick. And it is pink. It's a white guy's dick because it's pink.
That's not common practice in Mexico, I don't think, is it?
It's only common practice in the United States and amongst Jews.
And Jews, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about that.
In another episode?
I think I talked about it with... I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, though. I talked about it with my two lesbian roommates.
It's a weird thing. We had to learn about it a whole class in psychology of we had to watch like the babies, not like but like you see them screaming.
Oh, I mean, make no mistake, it's male genital mutilation without question. Just because it's common doesn't make it any less so.
Yeah.
And of course, my body, my choice. Well, that wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of times the parents don't even choose. The doctors just do it perfunctorily now without even asking.
I'm actually using like a foreskin growth cream right now.
Are you really?
No.
I was like, no, because there is people who want like to regrow their foreskin. There are guys out there paying plastic surgeons to like skin graft a foreskin back on their dick.
I'm cool with it now.
Yeah, which is like, it's like, all right, you cut it once, don't cut it again to put more skin back on.
I'm not feeling the turtleneck anymore. Just get it recut.
I'm a little cold. Need a little extra skin on there.
Oof.
All right, what's the next one I want to go to here? Yeah, I just got one more. Let's see, sex at work. You want to go there?
Ooh, sex at work. People having sex at work?
No, that one's sorry. I just realized that was a story in Russia, and we're not talking about. Okay, I'm fine with Russia. I have a problem with their fucking government. Here it is. Kicked out for no sex.
Kicked out for no sex?
Oh yeah. Let me pause this. Hey, can you pipe this in? I'll just play right here. So it's a video. So a man paid a woman to fly into his home city. She didn't want to have sex with him, so he kicked her out of the car and canceled her flight and told her to get her own flight home.
Ooh.
And there's a clip of their argument. But my question about that is, one, Have you ever met a girl in a different city or had her fly in and you hadn't hooked up before? Have you ever had that scenario pan out in your past? Obviously, not currently.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Did you hook up with her or did you just?
Yes.
Okay. But
Almost
did you?
had my first threesome.
You and your buddy?
No. It's two girls. It's her and her
girls?
friend. Yeah, I had one after that, but I had multiple. Well, I don't want to get into my.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah,
I don't want to dig up the graves.
God, I was such a bitch because the threesomes are so fragile and really
Yeah.
difficult to.
Well, I've always found what I've learned that I enjoy is pulling it off because it's so hard to pull off.
It's so hard. It's
The act of it isn't always it's not as exciting as the lead up to it. You know, like once you got the green light, that's 90% of that's awesome.
Yeah.
And the rest of it's just all right, who's
Yeah,
you don't want to leave anybody out. Somebody might feel weird.
Yeah.
So that could get weird.
It's a
But once you get the
logistical
agreement, it's
nightmare.
yes, everyone agreed to do something crazy. We got the party's gonna start. That excitement, it's a little anticipation is the most fun.
Yep.
But you saying you had so did you fly out to her or did she fly out to you?
She flew out to me.
Okay. Did you expect any sex?
I mean, I didn't.
You assume it's a good possibility, right?
Yeah, I didn't expect, but
But would you throw her out if she didn't have sex with you?
not at all because
No.
this dude's just given up too early. If she flew out to see him and it's day one, give it a couple days, dude.
That is pretty preemptive. Yeah, you don't even know me. She gets in the car and you just have your dick out. It's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, sounds like she made the right choice. She dodged a bullet. Good for her. I don't know. Yeah, that's aggressive.
But what I do like though, I did kind of, not like, but I found kind of funny. So apparently he paid for her flight. It was a round trip flight.
Sure.
But once she said she wouldn't have sex with him. He canceled her flight home and drove her to the airport, so she had to buy her own flight home.
He drove her to the airport?
Yeah.
That was nice of him to
Yeah, it was nice of him to drive her back to the airport. But he canceled her flight.
Yeah,
which is kind of fucked up because he's already going to lose the money on the ticket.
And is this
right?
guy
So
famous?
she's going to have to come out of her pocket. So it's just a spite move, which I appreciate the pettiness. But like you said, you can't. Look, sex is that's sort of that comes down to the moment of decision, at that point.
Right.
You can't preordain I'm going to fuck you when I get there because anything can happen when you get there.
Yeah, you almost don't want that. It ruins the mystery of it.
Yeah,
And,
that was the fun, the excitement. This could be a weekend of excitement, or it could be a fucking horror show. I'm gonna go back and tell my boys, tell my girlfriend how fucking wild this stupid weekend was.
Also, how many girls told you they're not gonna have sex with you and they have sex with you?
Every one of them.
Oh.
It's never. I can't think of one time
When they say it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, take it easy. We just met each other.
Yeah,
lady.
dude, even with girls I date, I have to convince them to have sex with me. As I'm regularly dating, I have to pitch them on it. Hey, you want to go fuck now? It's never they don't come in the room and say, hey, let's go fuck now. It's never it's always like, hey, you want to go do something?
Yeah, I don't know. Is this guy famous? Why is he even? I guess
no. So
regular people are making
it got posted
headlines for this
on
now.
TikTok. Okay, and the story. That's how the story came to me.
This guy's life is fucking ruined after this.
No, because it was
anonymous.
I don't know. Well, he was on. I don't know if they have black TikTok, like black Twitter, but it's like that kind of account.
What is black Twitter? Was it like a?
It's like hood ratchet and that kind of thing. They have these meme sites for that, that cater to that community, I guess, whatever. But obviously half the women were disgusted by it, and the men were like, "Yeah, fuck that bitch. If she ain't putting out, she can find her own ride home." Which I'm like, yeah, that's a little much.
No,
yeah, it's one thing. It's one thing if it's her own ride home in the city she lives in. You flew her to another city.
Yeah. If she's promising all this stuff and then doesn't deliver when she gets there, then he has and still I don't think he handled it in a classy, appropriate way.
Of course not.
Yeah.
No. And also, to be frank, in 2022, man, you're taking a real fucking chance. She could say he did whatever on that trip. You better make sure she leaves fucking happy.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
In 5 years, when
are we good? Can
yeah.
you get it on film? Did you consent to everything? We did that? Yeah, okay. This day and age?
For real. In 5 years, when we make it, some of this stuff might get us canceled. Who knows?
Oh, I'm already toast, dude. I got 318 episodes. I got fucking what?
318 episodes of this podcast?
Yeah, I started it fucking 12 weeks after I started comedy.
Hell yeah, man! Congratulations.
So part of the journey. Thanks. But
has it been growing pretty steadily?
Yeah, I mean, it's so what I always say about podcasts is consistency is everything. Like you have to
Yeah.
show up every week. Like if I release it, I do it once a week. If I release this late on a Wednesday, people are like, "Oh, where the fuck's that at?" Because
Really?
they go home or whatever. So it's not a huge listenership, but what happens is it's a very sticky relationship. Like if you get somebody to listen to you, they get serialized to it.
Right.
Right. So it's steadily grown, but the consistency is important. You have to deliver. Like if you miss a week, you could fucking fall off the map.
That's it. Yeah.
But thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate
Of course,
it.
brother.
Why
Thanks
don't you plug your shows, plug your Instagram, plug all that stuff?
Yeah, Bryson Banks Comedy, run Simper Funny's show. The regulars at the Belmont, Simper Funny's at the Improv.
When's the next one?
The next one is at San Diego Laugh Factory on Saturday.
Sick, dude.
Doing 2 shows, an early and a late.
2?
Yeah, man. I'm
On a
pumped.
Saturday. Look at this guy.
Yeah, we'll have to get you back on. You've done.
I just got done telling
Jam
Armin. I was
of the
like,
band.
I'm so bad about fucking asking my buddies, like, hey, can I get back on the show? I forget, and then I'm like, I don't want to bother them.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at remembering. And
No.
just, like,
I got to reach out to
keeping
you. It's your
people
show.
on-
You're the booker. I got to reach out to the booker.
Keeping people on rotation. How are your shows going?
Good. I mean, it's all local stuff. It's all it's like a workout room. It's
Still
fun.
doing that rooftop thing? That was sick.
No, we moved over to Molly Malone. So I was doing that rooftop with Stand Up New York, and that was during the pandemic. And once they shut that down because everything opened back up, Molly Malone's was looking to do a show in there. They have like a little rock club room in the back
Dope.
on Tuesdays, and they reached out and was like, "Yeah, I'll be
Hell
over
yeah.
there." So yeah, that's actually tonight.
Fuck
But
yeah.
no one will hear that until next week. But August 30th, Molly Malone's, the next Semper Funny down in San Diego. When is it again?
August 20th and then 31st back at the Improv.
Nice. 20th and 31st. Bryson Banks. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having
All
me.
right, guys, that's it for this week. I'm Randy Valerio. Follow the podcast at Ready Set Blow. Follow me at Randy Valerio. We'll check you next week. Peace.